Hi, this is Dr. Sweta Adatia, and welcome to the Limitless Brain channel and lab, where we bring in all the experiments related to neuroscience which is applicable in your daily life. Today's topic is very relevant for all the parents and the teachers. If any of you who is a parent or a teacher and who has been teaching your kids, who has been teaching also to adults for that matter, I'm going to bring some very interesting nuances of neuroscience. My latest book, Future Ready Now, talks about a lot of this neuroscience applicable to the teachers in the context of a school setting, in the context of counseling. But let me make it very simple for you from the aspect of daily life. What can you do to become a better teacher or as a better parent to teach our younger generation? I'm going to give a very simple acronym which you can just very easily remember. MASTER. So how do you master your teaching? And every single letter we will go step by step to understand what this entails. M is for mirroring. It is extremely important to carry that energy, to bring that feelings and to have the right attitude when you are teaching, because then the same mirroring can happen in the person who is listening. Let me give you this example. Let's say I'm watching a live dance show, or which is live, which means I have been there, I'm at the theater, and I'm watching the dancer dance, versus I'm watching that dance show on the YouTube or on my television. The experiments have been done to see how much of the brain cells do I use when I see a live dance show, and how much of a brain cells that I use when I look at the TV. To your surprise, what the research has found is that the exact number, the same number of the brain cells is activated in a live show. And that is the reason you come back from the live shows and you will be tired, because you would have done all the brain changes and all the stuff which is happening in that performer or the dancer almost to the same tune, while that won't happen when you are watching a television. Television just gives you idle rhythm. In the good old days, television used to be called as an idiot box. Exactly this reason why it was called an idiot box. So mirroring is a very, very important thing for neuroscience. Now, children have an amazing ability to mirror the emotion. They would look at the person, look at the parent, look at the teacher, and very quickly gauge those emotions. They will very quickly understand what is going behind the scenes. So if a teacher comes frustrated, less energetic, not interested, you will transfer that emotion to the child. The child will very quickly grasp that. So mirroring is very, very, very important. The second is attention. Wow, attention has been such a huge problem. None of these videos are watched over, I think, 4 or 5 minutes, because attention is gone by then. The shorter and shorter and shorter clips we have to bring in, because the attention is close to about 6 or 8 seconds. And this is shortening by the generation. So on the whole, to keep the attention ongoing without distraction has become a big affair. What can we do in this regard? Very important to make it interesting, whatever you are delivering, whatever that you're talking about, because interest can actually capture attention. Another very important thing is to keep the attention ongoing. Attention does not happen like this. It flows in ebbs and flow like that. It is like a little sea wave which goes up and down. So you need to make sure that you're asking the person to attend, and then again, a little bit of non-attention, again attend and non-attention. It will run in cycles. S, very, very important, sensory stimulation. When I'm teaching, when I'm training as a parent or as a teacher, in the home also parents have to teach their young kids and all. Try to make it multi-sensory. Try to bring in some components where the child can touch, child can even smell. In fact, the research on smell is so appropriate. Let's assume that I'm trying to remember a science lesson. I'm just making it up. Let's say it's a biology lesson, which is about heart. And I'm putting a particular camphor, a particular smell, a fragrance. Let's put it that way, that we are putting up lavender. Now my smell area and the emotional system would be linked to my frontal cortex. So it will be like a cross-linking which will happen. The next time I sense the lavender smell, I will get reminded of the topic of the heart. So when I want to reproduce what I learned for the heart, I actually need to think of that smell and then kindle those brain areas. Very, very interesting for me. So I think a lot of schools, a lot of classrooms should have certain changed fragrances which can make this happen. By the way, we will have an entire session on fragrances and odors, because olfactory system is directly connected. Olfactory is the smell system, directly connected to the brain. And the best, easy, super comfortable way to calm down the emotional system, calm down the limbic system, is lighting the incense stick or lighting the dope or lighting the camphor. That's why in the good old days, they would do that first thing in the morning. I mean, I have seen a lot of my grandparents waking up in the morning, and the very first thing is there's a beautiful diya which is lit at the temple, or there is an incense stick which is lit. Why was that done? To just bring the emotional system, which is, or the emotional brain, quietened, so you can have the prefrontal cortex to your optimum use. Small little thing, but huge science outcomes. So having multi-sensory stimulation is very important. You can bring in multimedia, you can bring in drama, you can bring in forms of expression. We tried one of the lessons by playing the dumb charas. You don't talk, you're just dumb, you're dumb, and you're explaining in the sign language the person to understand what the topic is all about. And very interesting, because the brain has to now make sense of it and it is activated. So multi-sensory stimulation. T for teaching back. Now, when I read, I retain about 10-20%. When I repeat, I again retain another 10-20%. But when I teach back, I retain 60-70%. So giving them the opportunity to teach each other, or giving them an opportunity to teach, etc., can be significantly effective as a strategy. E, emotional engagement. Emotions are all over the place. We feel that, we are rational buyers or rational thinkers. Actually, we are dominantly emotionally engaged people. So bringing the right emotion of curiosity, of fun, of pleasure, of excitement, emotionally engaging the child or engaging the entire environment is extremely important for the learning. If I ask you a Pythagoras theorem, would you remember that right now? Or I ask you 30, 60, 90 rule, or for that matter, Newton's law of what was the second law of Newton? Would you even remember any of this? But the moment I ask you, which teacher made you feel comfortable? Which was the class in which you felt good? What was that feeling that came in at that point in time? Instantly, you will remember that. So, or if I ask you the story of the crow and the water, the pebble stones, the crow and the water story, immediately you would remember that. Now, Pythagoras theorems and all you learned in the high school, but this story was way back in your early childhood. But you still connect. Immediately the crow came in, the pebbles came in, the water flow came in. Why? Because there was emotion involved in that. Stories, very powerful again, a means of making the person understand. So, very important, emotional engagement. And last but not the least is the reason why you are teaching that. Now, I never understood why would they teach me about the planets and the astronomy, and it was so complicated, and why would I learn all the algebra and all the sets and all the complex calculation which I was doing. And today when I look back, if I was told the reason behind it, if I was told the meaning behind it, my brain would have remembered it far better than just doing it. Teaching should not become a task. Teaching should become a life-changing experience. Teaching should be taken very, very seriously. Parent or a teacher, counselor, or anybody. This is the very basic neuroscience which you bring into your class, which you bring into the daily life of the children. I am 100% sure we will not just retain better, we will learn better. The knowledge eventually will also convert into wisdom. And that is the key We all need wisdom. And that is the reason why I learn from you, you learn from me. We are all in it together. So hang tight and we continue this journey at the Limitless Brain Lab. Signing off, Dr. Sweta Adatia.